Let's talk a little about the stages of hypnosis. It's good because it will make things easier. Understanding of what hypnosis is. All hypnosis will begin with what we call pre-talk. Pre-talk is that preliminary conversation in which you will explain to the subject what hypnosis is. It will provide a contextualization of hypnosis and give instructions about hypnosis. If I will use a quick induction as an example, like the arm pull, where I say sleep. It is not something magical. There are instructions involving this induction. So it is in the pre-talk that I have to demystify those questions about hypnosis, involving, am I going to reveal a secret? Am I going to do something against my morals? Am I going to lose control? Is it a battle of the mind? Is it something for people with a weak mind? In therapy, in therapeutic hypnosis, we will have another step that will be present in any therapeutic process, which is called anamnesis. It is an interview for you to learn more about the subject. That is, to know the subject's history, to know the subject's demands. Now, in this third step, hypnotic induction. What is an induction? Hypnotic, it is to take the subject into a trance. That is, this is where the magic begins to happen. And this magic can happen in two different ways. In a classical direct manner, or called Ericksonian, which is indirect. Milton Erickson, although he did not have contact with Carl Rogers, it is very similar to Carl Rogers in psychology. So he wasn't really into that issue of authority, of the hypnotist, this issue of having authority. Carl Rogers breaks away from this. So Milton Erickson, despite not having had contact with Carl Rogers, he also has the same idea. He has this idea that I am a partner of the subject, and he has to enter the trance naturally in the middle of a conversation. That is, Milton Erickson prefers conceptions of naturalistic trance, like when we read a book, when we are engaged in a conversation. The subject enters a trance without realizing that they are in trance. That is a hypnosis they will call conversational, a hypnosis through conversation, indirect. Now, classical hypnosis will have as its exponent Dave Ellman, who worked with doctors. Dave Ellman gave direct suggestions. So this idea of close your eyes, do this, then do that, do this, then do that, is classical formal hypnotic induction. The inductions of Milton Erickson were the calls of informal, indirect ones. Those of Dave Ellman are formal, direct. Well, I have already put someone in a trance. The moment of hypnotic and post-hypnotic suggestions arises. Hypnotic suggestions are those suggestions that will occur during the trance, whether for entertainment or therapeutic purposes. Now the post. Hypnotic, post-hypnotic, right? There's an S missing here. I even thought about asking our editor, Luciano, to add it. A S in Photoshop here, but it would look worse, right? Better to put an S. Well, but the post-hypnotic suggestions, they are those anchors, those triggers that the subject can activate to evoke some state of trance. So when I install sleep, the subject closes their eyes. They are using a post-suggestion. Hypnotic, meaning it works after the trance. Now I can also have hypnotic suggestions and indirect post-hypnotic suggestions. I can have indirect hypnotic suggestion. For example, Milton Erickson. He wasn't going to give the subject a direct suggestion. He was going to tell a story, and in that story, in that metaphor, the client would identify themselves, and from there they would create their own meaning. So, Ericksonian hypnosis, that of Milton Erickson, is not different in its indirect approach. Not only in the induction, it is also different in the form of suggestion. And there are many therapists and psychologists who will work with hypnosis and will mix classical hypnosis with hypnosis, Ericksonian. So there are people who will use, for example, a classical direct hypnotic induction, like that of Dave Ellman to induce trance. But when it comes time for the suggestion, it will use a metaphor, and the subject will reframe themselves through the metaphor. There are subjects who can utilize a conversational induction in the style of Milton Erickson and then give a direct suggestion. In other words, I do not need to walk indirect, indirect, or direct, direct, and then there is a conclusion that some call dehypnotization. What is the neologism? This word does not exist. Other people use the term return or awakening. What it is to come back from hypnosis. So I sometimes receive emails from people saying things like, oh, I have already seen several hypnotic inductions, but I want to understand how you lead someone into trance. Lead into trance. The person didn't understand what hypnotic induction is. Hypnotic induction means leading to trance. Rapid inductions, slow, progressive relaxation, mental confusion, but all of this is a form to lead to trance. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel and click like, share, and see you next time. Thank you for watching this video. Do you want to learn more about hypnosis?